Hi there, I'm Terrell. So one of you said that you believe that data visualization is limited by the access to tools that you have. And in a way, I think this is true and also not true. True in the sense that the augmented reality headset that I'm recording this on is fairly pricey, and I think that is one that I couldn't afford to have bought myself if Magic Leap hadn't been kind enough to send me one. But also not true in the sense that this visualization, while very good, I don't think it needed to be done to have been done in augmented reality. And what I think that makes this visualization so great and how it makes it so effective is that it's three-dimensional, right? If you'll come back to lecture, you'll remember that spatial encoding is the most important encoding that we can use, the most effective. So what I find kind of interesting, and that might be just because of my background in AR, is that I don't tend to see a lot of three-dimensional ones. I see a lot of 2D, which seems odd to me because adding that extra spatial dimension gives you a lot more depth, quite literally, right? So why don't I talk a little bit about what this is? So as you see here, this is a Wall Street Journal visualization for the daily change in the stock market. Each of these spheres is an individual stock, and they're placed around a circle based on their sector. So like if it's in this tech sector, then it's part of the technology market. Here, healthcare and life sciences, et cetera, et cetera. The size encoding of the sphere represents the size of the market cap, or how large the company is, right? But what I think is most interesting about this visualization are how they chose to approach average volume and percent daily change, right? The way they took average volume was they actually had it so that each sphere is represented on the circle, and the farther or closer away it is from the center is the volume. So if it's really close to the center, right? So here, I think the highest volume stocks, the most buying and selling right now, is Apple and Tesla. While you don't see as much trading on Amazon or Alphabet, right? And then perhaps the best one is the percent daily change that they did, where it's represented on the z-axis and how close or far away from the viewer it is, and where it is in relation to the plane of the circle. So if the circle is closer to me, above the plane of the circle, it's a positive change that the stock is, the price is going up. And if it's away from me, below the plane, then the percentage change is down. So the price of the stock is going down percentage-wise. And one of the interesting things we can do with that is we can actually go over to the side and we can see how far specific sectors are away from the plane of the graph, and you can see the plane of the circle and see which ones are more up and which ones are more down, right? I think that technology as a whole is kind of doing pretty well. And then life sciences is kind of all spread out. Financial sector is a little bit more compressed, right? But as you can see, because they're all almost all of them are above the plane of the circle, the entire market as a whole is going up today. That's pretty cool to see. But I think that even though this is in augmented reality, we could have represented this on a computer, tablet, or phone, or a flat screen by rotating this display, right? So I don't think that it needed to do this in augmented reality, though it is very, very cool, I'll admit. One of the other dimensions that I don't tend to see in visualizations, but I think that could also be applied without, using special tools and technology for that, is the temporal dimension, where time, right? So we can show the time lapse of how the stocks change. Let me run that. And you can see them kind of go up and down as they go up. They're more positive or more negative, right? But what I think is interesting about this is that you don't need, again, you don't need the technology, but also, what's it called? If you notice, and I'll play it again, it starts and then it jumps, right? And at first, I thought this was an artifact of the data collection or maybe the way the data is being stored. But then you think about it, right? The stock market doesn't actually open until 9 a.m. And I think that might not actually be an artifact. That might just be the way the market actually works, where the beginning of trading is what causes big jumps in the change of the price of stocks. But anyway, so this is kind of my advocating for doing more three-dimensional and I guess more time-lapse visualizations. And I thought, it'd be cool for all you all to see. So if any of you have more comments or thoughts, be sure to let me know. Thanks.